Switzerland, a country full of natural wonders. And the Jungfrau Region in particular is a true gem. In April, the entire Jungfrau Region awakens from its winter slumber, with dandelions blooming everywhere. And while I can only take short walks with my young dog Lil Rasta, I go on longer hikes and excursions on my own. Get ready now for breathtaking videos of spring in the mountains. Today I explore Grindelwald a little bit. I do a little bit of training, hiking up and capturing the beauty of Grindelwald in mid-April. Grindelwald is still in its early stage when it comes to spring. You can already see the first shy flowers, but the trees are more or less still bare. I have my Swiss Topo app to help me. Although I know my way around here relatively well, it still helps me orient myself and find the best hiking trail. At first, I walk through the village of Grindelwald for a bit, but soon I am alone in the middle of beautiful nature. This hike will take about 3 hours. Of course, that includes a few short breaks. After all, I'm not in a hurry. I prefer hiking in spring or fall. The air is still fresh then, and you don't get all worked up right from the start. While the village is teeming with tourists, I'm completely alone here, and I simply enjoy being alone with nature and listening to the birds in the forest. The hike takes place mostly in the woods, especially at the beginning. But once you've reached the high elevation, the path levels out as you head towards Grindelwald Board. Now it is more or less straight away. Not a lot of up and down. Yeah. I'm a little bit proud of myself, to be honest. Yeah. That was the first person I met today. In overcrowded Switzerland. At this altitude, the crocuses are just beginning to bloom. Nature first has to recover from the snow and then fights its way back to life. Wow, everything is full with crocus. Beautiful. From here you can see the Grindelwald first. Here? Yeah, and in about 10 minutes we are back at Grindelwald Board. After about 3.5 hours, I reach my destination Grindelwald Board. Now it's a leisurely ride down on the Grindelwald First gondola. I'll definitely plan another trip for people who don't want to hike as far or as steeply like this. But for that, a few more dandelions need to grow. While the Giessbach waterfalls are slowly taking shape, I am on the hunt for dandelion fields. Lauterbrunnen has been on my radar for a few days now, so I head into the valley of the 72 waterfalls. Unfortunately, I don't know who exactly counted the waterfalls. Fact is, however, that this valley is bounded by steep rock faces due to its special U-shape. As a result, during snowmelt or rain, many waterfalls spring up and gush out of every hole. That's why this valley is especially impressive in rainy weather. I've actually wanted to go to Adelboden for a while now, because one of you asked me to. So today we're heading to Adelboden. We actually wanted to visit the Ängstlichen Fall here, but that's still out of Lil Rasta's reach. We'll have to wait a little longer. Until then, we'll make to do with a bit of meadow and the hope that it'll work out on our next visit. We also had our sibling playdate again. Here, the two siblings can really roughhouse and build their social skills. Then we made a quick detour to this impressive road. I won't tell you exactly where it is, or the residents who live up there will beat me up. In addition to my longer excursions, there are always our daily Lil Rasta outings. He can't swim yet, but we're working on it. So now we are here in Grindelwald Grund. Yeah, and we want to explore the area a little bit. And we want to check if some dandelions are already blooming. Yeah, so we do a little hike together, and I hope you will enjoy it. You may see that Grindelwald is in the early spring state. Yeah, but I can see some dandelions. They are not blooming right now because it's too early. Yeah, they need at least 2 hours of sun, and then they are here. Yeah. So we need to wait. Yeah, but time is working for us. Gal Eiger. You maybe would love to know which route I've exactly took. And I always write a Patreon blog with JPEG file, and so you can see where I was. It is off season right now, so many hotels are doing their renovations, renovation work, and then most of them they open mid-May, end of May. I mean, you can walk around Grindelwald wherever you want, and you always see something beautiful. Yeah, it's not hard. Just go and explore. I told you about the dandelions. Yeah, now they are awake. Huh? And blooming everywhere. After hiking up through the Grindelwald village, I'm at Aussenwengen. But if you want to make it easier, you just can take this bus, 127, and then you can reach it from the train station of Grindelwald. Yeah. Today is one of the few rainy days in April. I'm drawn to the Giessbach waterfalls. If you want to drive into the nature park, you have to book a ticket online. If you want to skip that, you can either take the boat or the bus from Brienz and walk down a bit. On days like these, the waterfall is very impressive. Then it's time again for my favorite valley, the Reichenbach Valley. It's slowly turning green here too, even though it'll be a while before the dandelions bloom here as well. Starting in mid-May, a bus runs here again, which I can recommend to anyone who isn't used to driving on a narrow mountain road. It's late April and Lauterbrunnen is also in full spring mode. Let's take a little stroll around the village. But now we're heading up another level. We're driving to Wengen to see how far along nature is there. To get there, we'll take the train from Lauterbrunnen. The ride takes about 12 minutes and is probably one of the most beautiful train rides in Switzerland. From Wengen, I take a leisurely hike to Aussenwengen and hop back on the train in Grindelwald. In the coming weeks, nature will really come to life in the mountains, and then you'll start seeing various animals like cows, sheep, and goats again on your hikes.